Yep.
People are definitely going to notice when you do these obvious things because it seems like they're not so obvious to everybody all the time anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate to say that because I just start sounding like the old guys we used to complain about. But the reality is they were kind of right a lot of the times. Not all the time. How now, brown cow?
Moo.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, we were looking through some old episodes, and one of them that caught my eye was one that actually, if I can speak, comes out to be one of the most played episodes of all of our what do we call this? A discography? I don't know.
That's
album.
Right. it's our CD binder.
Our playlist. Our exactly. Remember the one that was connected to, like, you strapped to your visor?
Yeah.
Remember
when they came out with the wallet, it was like a book.
Oh yeah. I had a Case Logic one, I think it was, and it had 4 spaces.
What does Case Logic makes now?
What do they make now?
They had to. I mean, do they even exist still? They make calculator cases now.
Yeah, I don't know. See, they don't make them for CDs. Anyway,
right.
Okay. So one of our most played episodes, and it caught my eye because I wanted to kind of revisit some old topics that we talked about. We get messages from time to time here and there, asking questions on episodes, or asking questions, and maybe it was in an episode that we talked about previous.
Yep.
One of them, this one in particular, is 5 things apprentices should do every day. Let me say that over again. 5 things apprentices should do every day. And you and I talked on and on. This was back in January of 2024.
Yeah.
We talked on and on about these 5 things. Mostly I talked way too much, I'll admit. I re-listened to the episode, and I was like, man, shut up, dude.
Well, I know it happened. It happens occasionally.
Yeah, it does. Admittedly, yeah.
It was, it was a good. I felt like it was a good episode, and I'm, thinking back about to the feedback that we got on that too was.
Yeah,
I think generally it was well received.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely. I'm going to run down the 5 things, and we'll just discuss them. And we've got a little perspective now, a few more years. You've got a few new employees since then. And so things have changed for both of us a little bit. And let's expand on them. Number 1, the simple one. And this is okay. So let me frame this up. If you're an apprentice listening to this and you're new to it, like brand new, or you're thinking about joining the trades, or let's say you've only been doing it for a few months, this is the number 1 thing I think everybody needs to get through their head. The importance of you being on time is paramount.
Yeah.
This isn't class. This isn't school. This isn't, next time I'll be here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll be on time tomorrow. No, I need you on time every day. I need the last thing on my mind to be whether or not you're going to be there ready to work on time.
Yeah. Yep.
Basic concept. I know it sounds so stupid to say it. At least it seems stupid for me to have to say it. But man, is it important. It's important for so many reasons. We don't have to get into every one of them. But basically, the job has been planned, whether you work on a crew or you work with just one other journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
The job has been planned that you will be there because you didn't tell them you weren't, and we need you there on time.
Yep.
Let's touch real quick. A lot of people have this hard on for, on time is late. You got to get there 15, 20 minutes early. What are your thoughts on that?
I always look at things like that and go, what is what's the risk? Like if I'm like, how far early do I need to leave in order to be there on time? Right. And my mentality
but like, what's your on time? What is Andy's expectation for on time?
If we're meeting at 8, right. If the event, whatever I'm going to, I'm meeting a buddy at the shooting range. We're going to the movie theater. It doesn't really matter, right? If the thing starts at 8, be there a few minutes early. Be ready to go.
Okay.
Right? Have your crap dialed in. Because the most annoying thing, right, in my opinion, is to show up at 8 and be there, right? And we've all been there. We've all been at this group event or this group function, and hey, we're going to meet at 8, right? Or we're going to leave at 8. And then that one person shows up at 7:59 and isn't dressed, right? Or their stuff's scattered throughout their car. They're not ready to go.
Okay.
right? That's if that's your mentality, if you can't pre-plan to be ready to go when you arrive, then you need to be early enough to get your shit together so you're ready to go when it's time to go.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I agree with that. I think there's a number of people that will say like, well, you have to be there 20 minutes early because at 5 minutes early, you need to be ready to go. I'm like, well, come on, man.
Yeah. Sure.
Communicate that if you're listening to this and you're a foreman or you're in charge of training these people or you are in charge of the specific job that you might be working on tomorrow, then you need to communicate that you want your people there at the specific time for a specific reason. But honestly, if you're not clocking in until let's say the job starts at 7 and you're not allowed to like start counting your time until 7. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say this because a lot of people won't agree with me. I'm going to say to hell with working at 6:55. I'm not getting paid. And the reason I say that is this: legally, getting ready to be, being ready to do the job can only be held against you until you're on the clock. So like, I can't tell you got to show up 20 minutes early or whatever. I like the way you said it. I think the best way to approach this is this: look yourself, like really look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I usually the guy that's late, or can I be on time and be relied on at, at the time? If at 7 o'clock Andy wants me to start turning wrenches, then I got to make sure that I'm ready at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's important to understand that expectation because, hey, Eric, we're going to go do this job. I want to leave at 8 is different than, hey, we're going to start work at 8.
It is. It is.
Right. Because there may be stuff we have to do before we leave.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to leave at 8, but we need to be here. I need your help loading this boiler in the back of the van or into the trailer or whatever it is. Now that's okay, I want to leave at 8, so you better be here at 7:30. Okay, that's a different story, but that's communication. I think it's important for an apprentice to know that there are going to be scenarios in which timing of starts and stops of jobs and stuff may be a little bit different from day to day. But the point is be ready at the time that they say. And it's not something that you don't push that. Don't push that. I don't care how bad or how hard it is for employers to find employees. I don't care how, you've heard so many times, everybody's out there saying, we need more tradespeople. We need more tradespeople. The problem is we don't need tradespeople that don't show up.
That aren't at work because you're not a tradesperson.
I don't give a crap about, it's so stupid to have this conversation, in my opinion, but it's a necessary one. Yep. Okay, moving on. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you.
I think one thing to keep in mind there is in that whole thing, and this is where I think that mentality of, well, you should be 20 minutes early. I don't know that you should be, but you know what? It's okay to be. And I say that on the basis that a lot of people, I don't live this life, right? Because I live 300 feet that way from where I'm sitting right now, and I come out to work right here.
Yeah.
And I have that luxury.
Your shop is right there.
Right. Yep. If I had to commute an hour to work, which a lot of people do every day or more, right? If I have to commute an hour, I have to factor in the fact that there could be things that happen along that hour-long commute that make me slower to get to work.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to factor in because you know what? I'm gonna say this and I may come off sounding like whoa, whatever. I don't care. Not my problem. I didn't factor into hiring you and when that you live an hour away. That's not my problem. If we're starting at 8, we're starting at 8. Be there, be ready. If you need to come to town earlier, come to town earlier.
I'm just impressed that you guys start at 8.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I know why you do it.
A lot of residents.
I always had to work for a company that started at 7.
We did too. I loved it. It was great.
I liked 7 a.m. because your day was, you could get some overtime in and not be so late, or you could, your regular 3:30 quitting time was nice and early.
Yep, especially summertime. I mean, we've been doing a little HVAC job about an hour south of us, and it's been really nice because I've been leaving here at like 4:50 and arriving on site at 6 or 5:50. A few minutes before 6. Start getting my stuff ready, and the homeowner comes out and opens their garage door at 6 a.m. and we go to work at 6. And it is super early.
That's pretty unique, though.
It is, and it's not, and that's the reason why we don't start early normally. I'd like to, I mean, it'd be great, but there are not every homeowner's like, yeah, come into my house at 6 a.m.
No, that's why I tell people, my buddies give me a hard time. They're like, oh, 9 o'clock, just getting up. Huh? And I'm like, yeah, the reality is people don't want you in their house at 8 o'clock in the morning.
A lot of them don't.
No, that's why an 8 o'clock start for you guys might mean you're not even showing up to their house until, I mean, it might be 8. It might be 8 that you're at their house, but a lot of times it might be 8:30. You got to stop for parts and whatnot.
Yep. Cheryl's very good at establishing that if you want the guaranteed time slot of the day, it will be at 8 a.m. And
I don't schedule I don't schedule anything until 9. Typically, if people want earlier, I'm open to it.
Yep.
And the reason why is I've just learned over the years that my customers are just like, yeah, I don't want you in my house at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's fine.
Still getting ready, or my kids are still there, or they're not off. I got to get them on the bus, and having a plumber in your house, I know because I lived that life before. Yep. I don't need to cause that distraction. Okay, moving on. Number 2. I don't want. We've already talked too much on that one.
Okay, go.
Number 2. Show initiative. And this might be a little bit for the advanced apprentice, somebody that's been doing it a little bit longer, but a couple things that come to my mind when I say show initiative, and I'll keep this short, it's you're going to do a lot of the same things over and over. Mm-hmm. The one thing that's really awesome about the trades and construction and service and repair, that kind of work, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, you name it, is your days are likely to be different from one day to the next. Maybe new construction, it can get a little repetitive, but when it comes to service and repair, that kind of work, definitely going to be doing new things every day. That's awesome. But a lot of the things in both sides, especially on the construction side, are going to be repetitive. You're going to, obviously if you're going to be doing rough-ins, and whether you're an electrician, well, let's skip them. They don't know how to use brooms. Plumbers, HVAC, you cutting holes in walls and floors and everything like that. You obviously got to clean up. If you're an apprentice, that's not, in my opinion, that's not your job, but that's a job that you should have, that you're going to participate in. And if we're roughing in, that stuff has to get cleaned up. Turn around, clean yourself up, clean the job site up quick. Take the initiative. Do the things that are going to have to be done. Don't wait to be told. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Is I had the luxury. I did not at all a luxury training apprentices. I was put in the position at the shop I worked for last to oftentimes I was training new guys that came in.
Sure.
Whether they're brand new or they had just a little bit of time, they would often get put with me because I was a younger guy. I was more relatable. I was energetic. I was a teacher for the union, that kind of stuff, instructor. And so maybe that's why the shop liked it. But anyway, I always had a better day relationship, and my coworker, my apprentice, did too. When the obvious things I didn't have to tell you. Like, I didn't have to tell you that when the supply house showed up and the tubs were, the bath bays and stuff were sitting out in the yard, that we were going to have to bring them in. We were going to have to stop what we're doing and prep and now kind of switch gears, get these out of the driveway and into the house. Taking that initiative, knowing that things are going to happen when you see the clues around you.
Right.
That's important. And so it's important because it takes the burden off your teacher, your mentor, your journeyman person that's trying to teach you this kind of crap. Right. So pay attention, take the initiative on the basic stuff. If it's something that you think is risky, core drilling that hole 14 feet up in the air and whatnot, and like you haven't done it before, well then don't take the initiative. Maybe, ask some questions and we'll get to that. But what do you think about take initiative? Like anticipate.
I think that's a huge one of. And it's not even trades, right? This is just a life skill is, look at the things that need to be done around you, right? Does the garbage need to be taken out? Do the dishes need to be done? Should I turn off the lights?
Yeah.
Just those simple things, those are taking that initiative. Did you do it? Well, I don't care if you did it or not, but it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you make a mess? Doesn't matter.
Right. You're walking
on the crew. Let's pick it up.
Yep. You're walking from where we're working out to somewhere else and there's some garbage on the floor. Pick it up. Yeah, I mean, nobody blamed you for it, right? Nobody said, "Oh, you picked that, you put that garbage there." No, just pick it up because everybody else is dealing with it, right? Now, should everybody else have stopped and picked it up? Yep.
Yeah, but see, that's great that you brought that up because I think what taking that initiative and doing the things that you know are going to need to be done, especially as you get
Yep.
more and more involved on the job and
Mhm.
you have more and more responsibilities or skills kind of in your
Right.
pocket. This is the kind of thing that will get you recognition, that
Yep.
even if you're not seeking it, positive, in a positive way,
Yes.
from your supervisors.
Yep.
People are definitely going to notice when you do these obvious things, because it seems like they're not so obvious to everybody all the time anymore.
Right.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? I hate to say that, because I just start
You
sounding
do.
like the old guys we used to complain about. But the reality is they were kind of right a lot of the times, not all the time.
Yeah.
If I had an apprentice that just all of a sudden was like cleaning up all the wood shavings from our auger bits, you know how that is. It's like a freaking,
Yeah.
it's like a pile of snow, but wood, and it tracks all over. It's a huge mess. You're on a rough-in. It seems like it's everywhere. And some people would be like, wait till we're done. And I'm like, oh, you want to work in this? This is a pain in my butt. Every time I kneel down,
clean as you go.
Yeah, clean as you go.
Yep.
And every time I had an apprentice that started doing that, it was just like, okay, we're clicking now. And now I'm so much more energized to take the challenges you're going to give me when I'm trying to teach you these things and stuff. Like, I'm going to handle it so much better because I see that you're wanting to learn and you're wanting to be part of this.
Yeah. That's a big, huge pet peeve of mine, is coming into a job site that's just like chaos.
It is. I know we've had this conversation, you and I, privately a lot.
Yep. And here's part of it too, is I'm in somebody's house, right?
Mhm.
Almost every job I'm in somebody's house. And if I walk in and I look at it and I go, oh, this looks a little chaotic. Guess what? The person that has no clue what we're doing, right? They have no concept of how we're going to do what we're doing. They walk in and they see tools and chaos and wood chips flying, and the walls are tore apart.
It's a little overwhelming, right? Now they're second guessing.
Now they're like, whoa, right? That to me, you know what? If they walk in the kitchen and everything's pretty tidy and you've got the kitchen sink upside down and, they're like, oh, Jesus, the kitchen sink's out. Like, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
right?
They were just here to put in a water filter on my fridge. You know what I mean?
But if their $3,000 range has a tool bag sitting on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of a different list, but yeah, absolutely. I know
but it goes to that same concept, like keep your place organized.
Pay it this way.
Pay attention to customer finishes.
Yeah. If you put
property.
if your car broke down and you had to bring it in because you didn't know how to fix it,
Mhm.
and you found some guy who says he could fix it, and then you drop it off and he says, come back at the, lunchtime, I'll have it done. And you show up at lunchtime and every part in the engine bay is sitting out on the floor, you're going to be like,
or in the parking lot.
Did I, whoa.
Right.
Okay, that's kind of what it looks like to a homeowner when we're working in in their house, and all of a sudden, or in an office space or in a new construction site, it's obvious who is paying attention, who cares about the scenario, surroundings.
Yeah.
Also, it can mean safety, things like that.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to keep a trash bag or a trash bucket or a cardboard box right close in your workspace, and your trash comes off of whatever it is that you're cutting. Right? Or opening or whatever. Take the trash off, put it in the box.
Yeah.
It
shouldn't
literally
take
the
any
easiest
extra
way.
time. Yep.
No.
Exactly. In fact, you'll be faster if you just do it as you go.
Yep.
All right. Number 3 in the 5 things apprentices should do every day. And we're almost halfway. Ready?
Yep.
Ask questions. This is your topic right here.
This
I know
is my
you're
topic.
hot and heavy on this, and you just deal with it, and it's a pain in your butt.
If there is even some remote, like, I'm not sure I understand what we're going to do here, or I'm not sure exactly what this is going to look like in the end, please ask a question. Right? And this was part of that in that episode, is if you asked this question yesterday and the day before, okay, now we have a problem.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Right. So when you ask the question, don't ask the question just because, hey, we're starting a new project, I should just ask a question. Right? That's not what this is about. Ask a question because you legitimately are like, I'm not positive what the end goal is going to be here, or how should I go about this? What do you think? But ask that question in such a fashion that you sound intelligent, right? Like,
oh, wait a minute. Now we're putting qualifications on these questions.
oh, hey, Jimmy Bob, so
Jimmy
what what I'm going to have you do today is I'm going to have you drill these holes. Okay. So you're, the 3-month apprentice. What you should not ask, where do you keep the drill? Where
Well,
do you keep the drill bits?
well, I guess if you don't know.
Like, right. But
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah, I think more so, honestly, more so. Pay attention.
yeah,
The answers to your questions probably have been in front of you once or twice
yeah,
before. Um, Pay attention to the task. Stay on topic.
yep,
We're not here to necessarily. Maybe it's not out. Maybe it's not the time to chit chat. That kind of thing. But
right,
questions, as in, that are relevant to what you're working on.
right.
Right. If
Yeah,
you're unsure, I think that's the most important takeaway. If you're
yeah,
unsure, make sure that whoever is in charge knows that you need a little bit more information.
right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Do not think that
no,
you're gonna, if somebody's giving you a hard time because you asked a basic question that you simply just didn't have the answer to, or you wanted to clarify, if they give you a hard time on that, that's actually that's on them.
right,
All
right,
right. That's not on
right,
you.
right.
Not everybody is good at teaching. Not everybody's good at being a
No,
leader. They're just not.
yeah,
And sometimes journeyman didn't ask for an apprentice. Sometimes
yeah,
sometimes a journeyman might realize, like, I'm not very good at this and I don't want to deal with it.
yeah,
Or maybe they don't have that self-realization, but they just decided they don't want to deal with it. That
right,
makes it a lot harder for them to deal with you. So just know that you might be getting into a scenario that is, not
yep,
always the best for
yep.
everybody. And you get it.
Yeah,
I
I
can't. I
think
can't talk anymore.
my brain was a shell on it. I think that it's important, like, if you have a multi-step task, take some notes, right? Like if somebody's going through and being
And this
detail
is,
oriented, like hey, I'm gonna run off and do this other thing. So here's what I want you to do while I'm
yeah,
gone.
yep,
Get out your notepad, get out your phone, open your notes app, whatever, send yourself a text message.
yep,
I don't care. Hey, we're gonna drill this hole, and then once we get the hole drilled, we're gonna measure the length of the whatever, blah blah blah, and we're gonna do these steps, right? Like that.
yep.
A lot of times you're gonna get that. Well, if you don't do it in those steps, it may not produce the same end result, which is wrong, right?
And that goes with, I think that goes right with number 4. So I'm going to interrupt real fast. You started it. I'll just give a name to it. Pay attention.
Yep.
Right. So this kind of goes with the ask the questions, pay attention. Pay attention, meaning kind of goes back to that. You're going to do the same things over and over, take initiative. All
Yeah.
of these things are intertwined a little bit with each
Yep.
other, but they're very important. And like you're saying, take notes.
Yep.
Pay attention, use that notes app in your phone, whatever it is. Back when I started, I told this little anecdotal story. When I started with this shop, I was working downtown Minneapolis, big place. We worked like in the sub basement of a big building. We carted our tools all over on the sidewalk, that kind of thing, moving all the time, going 30th story here, fourth, the basement over there on 4th and 5th, that kind of thing.
Yep.
In order to keep anything straight at all, my journeyman or my foreman at the time, the first day, he's like, here's a notebook, one of those little 3-inch pocket notebooks. And he's like, I know it seems lame and a little analog, but at the time, I guess it wasn't. But he's like, but you're going to use this more than most tools. You just need to write everything down. Just never, because you're going to be on the 25th floor and you're going to need something. And maybe that something isn't going to be brought to you. Maybe you have to go get it. Okay.
Right.
Maybe you have to go back over to the shop that's 3 blocks away and get it. If you don't write that down, I promise you, you're going to forget something. And so it's going to be when it's the farthest and most inconvenient, right?
Yeah. You're going to walk in the shop and somebody's going to be like, hey, what did you do at this thing? And then you're going to take a 30-second conversation and you're going to be like, I have no clue why I'm here.
Yeah. And more so to the point of paying attention, though, is you had a really good point in that episode. It was, somebody, this professional, this other plumber, this other tech, whoever they are, is trying to teach you something that's going to literally put food on your table for the rest of your life if you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
And paying attention is just, it's respect for that person. I don't love the idea of having to tell somebody the same directions on even a repetitive task. I don't like saying it more than two times. I think if I have to tell you a third time, we might, you're going to hear it from me differently. I'm going to have a little attitude. I'm going to say probably the wrong things. Point is if you're paying attention and you're looking at these tasks, because again, I'll go back to show initiative, you're going to do a lot of the same things over and over. We should all be amenable in a sense that we don't need to be told every detail of every project of everything we do.
Yeah. All right. Exactly.
Moving on.
Okay.
Last one. And you and I kind of differed on this one in the first time we talked about it. And I maybe am coming around to your way of thinking on it, but it's phones. I want to say one thing about phones. I think that it's important that phones, regarding phones, you need to know the policy of the company. Okay, your shop probably has a policy. The job site, individual job site you're on, the general contractor you're working for, they might have strict policies regarding phones. Recognizing that they're used for communication and they help make the job successful in the end, but they can absolutely cause distraction and more importantly, they can cause dangerous situations with people being careless, not paying attention to their surroundings.
Yep.
Okay, let me just get that out of the way. I think it's important to acknowledge that. My idea on having your phone at work is, I know I'm going to sound so hypocritical when I say this. I don't think you need it out all the time. I think it's such a distraction. Admittedly, I use my phone on the job to record things and, I make content, that kind of thing. And it seems like everybody kind of wants to do that, or a lot of people do. And that's cool. If that's your thing and it's okay with the shop, fine. I'm not going to try to tell you otherwise. I just want to acknowledge, though, that depending on the kind of job site you're on, especially commercial, where there's a lot more people than just like you and your journeyman, the phone can definitely pose a safety risk. So just be aware of that. That's what I got for phones. I don't really know. I think it's most important. Talk to your journeyman. Ask them. Hey, can I look at my phone ever? Like, is that going to be a huge problem? And most people are going to be like, well, you're supposed to be working. So why are you looking at your phone? Save it for lunchtime, that break time, that kind of thing.
It's such a critical part of our daily tools anymore. Yeah. And so I remember as an apprentice the time when we, everybody had just starting to get a cell phone. Everybody had this, crazy ass ringer and ringtone, and that was the thing. You know what I mean? And you would literally sit down in the break shack or whatever, and everybody's lunchbox is in there. Well, not everybody took lunch at the same time, right? Yeah. In a lot of those jobs, maybe the electrician started, half hour after we did, or, we took lunch at 11:30, they took it at noon so that there was room in the warming shack, whatever. And you'd be in there eating lunch and, everybody's girlfriend or wife or whatever's calling, to let somebody know something. And, there's a phone, or, a lunchbox in the corner ringing, I remember that. Yeah. It's funny you say that, though. Little stupid things you remember, and everybody. And then I remember this memo going out. Will you please silence your cellular device? When you leave it in the job shack, so that everybody doesn't have to listen to your ringtone.
It was a different time.
Totally different.
2009, 2010. Yeah, it was a different time for sure. Yeah, I kind of wish those days were back. No, I will say the phone thing, for years I've been pulling my phone out, I've taken video and pictures and things like that. And I've definitely been I've become burned out on it. There's no doubt. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. I've posted less lately of these just whimsical, hey, I got this idea, I'm going to do, I don't do that as much of that anymore. I don't have that enthusiasm as much anymore. And ultimately comes down to this. It adds so much time to my jobs. So much time. It's crazy because, and I know this, I've always known it, but when I do a job and I don't video anything, I get it done so much faster.
Much faster.
It's crazy. Hours, maybe a day. It's crazy depending on the kind of job, how much time it adds.
It is.
And
even little tasks.
Little things.
Like
The
you go
littlest things.
service a boiler, do it in 45 minutes without a cell phone on there. You throw a video camera up and you start doing things pretty quick.
It's an
You're
hour
doing
and
a
a half.
double take.
Yep.
Let me put this back together so I can take it apart.
Oh my
right?
God. Can you? Yeah. I just need this action shot. Okay. Who's okay, Guy Ritchie.
Exactly.
Look, you're servicing a boiler. All right, let's end it there. We could go on and on. That's 30 minutes on 5 things apprentices should be thinking about. And I hope we gave you a little insight to think about this. If you're not an apprentice and you heard this and you've listened this far, please share it with one. Just give him a link. Say, hey, just text him the link and be like, I need you to listen to this. If you have feedback for us, you think that we're way off on this or you want us to add more to the list, we'll revisit it.
Hit us up. Yeah.
Hit us up. We got multiple ways to do that. You can email us. You can text us. There's a link right below the in the podcast and in the YouTube here. There's a text link. You can hit that. You can send us a text. I think you can even send us a voice message now. I don't know.
So. Something.
Either way. Do that. We want to hear from you. As always, Andy, thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one.